Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So today I am back with my first Dollar Tree haul of the month of June. So I know that the date for this haul is rumored to be like June 11th, I believe it is, which is the Friday coming up here from when I'm filming. But last time, if you guys watched any of those videos from the April wave, I guess it would have been, I actually missed out on a lot of like the big stuff because my stores ended up putting out their titles about a week early or so. And so I figured this time around, I want to just make sure. I was driving down the road heading somewhere else, and I said, you know what, like, stop in, check and see, you're driving by it, you might as well. And so I walked in, I randomly stopping here, walking in. They don't have anything at the front. Normally, you know, they have like the baskets in front that have all the movies. They didn't have that, so I figured, oh, okay, probably nothing new, but let's check anyway. So the first stop I made was the book section, and right away I found a novelization. So I was already having an awesome time. Like, I was very happy I stopped in by the one book that I found. So then I meandered around the store, made it over to the movies, and lo and behold, you guys, they had about double what they had the last time I was there. So during the last wave, it was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 days after that last wave dropped, I went to this same location. They didn't have anything in the movie bins up front, but they had a ton of stuff in the electronics aisle. And so it was like too deep on the top and too deep on the bottom, around maybe half of the aisle. And so I was on my hands and knees looking through those last time. Well, this time it was about double that. I was blown away by how many they had. When I was checking out, the lady was like, "You buying movies? Thank goodness." They just have so many of them. And so literally there were things that were stacked 3 deep this time, which was just insane. So I was on my hands and knees crawling through every single title, trying to see if there was anything new or different that I hadn't seen before, and I found some. I have a stack of about 23 movies here, and of course that one book that I want to show you guys. So I am really excited about this. Now, I think that this is a mix of the two waves. I think this is maybe some leftover. Maybe they had a couple of boxes in back that they didn't put out for the April wave, and some new stuff here for the June wave, I'm thinking. I don't know for sure. You guys are much more of an expert on this than I am, so if you don't see anything new here, let me know down below, so then I'll know that this is all previous stuff. But I think there might be some things in here that are from this new or this upcoming June wave. So really excited to share with you guys everything that I was able to find. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a like down below, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. But with all of that out of the way, guys, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my first June 2021 Dollar Tree haul. So I'll start with the book, and then I'll move over to the DVDs I found, and then lastly, we'll wrap it up with the Blu-rays. I have about 8 Blu-rays out of this stack, so a pretty decent number of Blu-rays, all things considered, I guess. But the book I found, I am so happy about this. Not only is this a novelization, not only is it from one of my favorite film franchises, it's actually from a fantastic author in Alan Dean Foster. This is the novelization for Alien Covenant. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, Alien Covenant is my least favorite film in the Alien franchise, and I would even include in the Alien vs. Predator film series. Like, I love the Alien movies, all 4 of them, and then I really enjoy both of the AVP movies as well. So it is what it is. I liked Prometheus. I really did not like this movie, but that's okay. I want to give it another shot at some point whenever I go back and revisit the series. But yeah, so this one is, the 4K looked really good. It's just the story I was not into at all. So, but either way, that's okay. I am so happy to have the novelization of this in the collection. I think now the only one, I guess technically I need Prometheus as well, the novelization for that, but the only other one I need now is Alien Resurrection, which is probably going to be the most interesting novelization, just because that movie went through so many changes during, filming and editing and whatnot. So I'm guessing that one will probably be the best, or the most interesting at least, out of all the Alien novelizations, but we'll see. I did read the original Alien novelization. I thought it was okay. I much prefer the film, so I don't know. But either way, another one for the novelization collection, and it was only $1. So that is fantastic. So like I said, when I picked this one up, I sent a picture to my buddy and was like, hey, it's already a good day because I found this. So yeah, so the movies were just icing on the cake at this point. But yeah, so that's the book I ended up finding this time around. So now let's move over to the DVDs I picked up. First up is actually from Shout Kids, which is pretty cool. But this is Transformers Robots in Disguise collection. So we have, I think that's, yeah, Overloaded and then Decepticon Island. So I am not the biggest Transformers guy. I love the film franchise. Like, I know everyone hates on it, and that's totally fine. I love it. It's probably because I don't have a history with them from when I was younger. I don't really remember watching too much Transformers. I was much more of a Power Rangers guy back then. I loved Scooby-Doo. I don't know, just Transformers wasn't one I spent a ton of time with. So my first kind of interaction with them was with the Michael Bay movies, and I love those. So I wanted to go back and check this out just because it was so cheap and it looks pretty cool. So I think this is actually like 2 shorter movies. The approximate runtime here is only 88 minutes, which would lead me to believe that these are both around 40 to 44 minutes long. So they're going to be short. They might even be like double-length episodes for all I know, because I think this is a TV series, but I don't know too much about it, but I thought this was a pretty cool one to find. I will mention that the Transformers the movie is coming out on 4K. I will not be getting that because, frankly, I don't love the movie. I don't even like it all that much. I have it behind me here somewhere, and it's just not a favorite of mine. I did pick up the Blu-ray, but I wasn't a huge fan, so I will not be picking up the 4K, but hopefully this one will be pretty interesting to watch. So Transformers Robots in Disguise collection, Overloaded, and Decepticon Island. And that's the first DVD I ended up finding. We're only 2 items in, and I feel like I've already probably pissed off multiple people saying that Alien Covenant is my least favorite over Alien Resurrection, which I actually quite enjoy, and saying I don't like the Transformers movie, but it is what it is. Either way, the next DVD I found is Casper, actually the Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper, Volume 1. And this has a glow-in-the-dark art series slipcover on it, which is pretty cool. This one is just, it looks like 5 different episodes of Casper. So I've not seen these before. Again, my kind of take on Casper is the film version of it. I know I did watch some of these cartoons when I was younger, but I really just don't remember them. So it looks like there is about 3 shorts in each episode. So got about 15 Casper related cartoons here, so this one should be pretty cool. The Spooktacular New Adventures of Casper Volume 1 with this really cool slipcover that I wish I could show off, but I feel like if I turn the lights off then you just won't be able to see anything, so I don't know. Sticking with the like family-oriented DVDs I found, the last one here is Scooby-Doo and Batman Brave and the Bold. So this one actually has like, I don't know if you can tell, the case is like crushed on it, so I was a little bit concerned, but they didn't have any other ones. Fortunately, I opened it up and everything is good on the inside, so I will just be swapping out this case with another one of the ones that I'm going to trade in. But yeah, so this is, I believe, a movie because it is listed at 75 minutes on the bottom there. And so I'm guessing it's just the Brave and the Bold Batman meeting up with the Scooby-Doo gang, so I'm sure this one will be pretty fun. I have very nostalgic memories of, Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin, or whatever the episode was called, or movie. Was it an episode or movie? I don't remember, but I loved it when I was younger. I actually saw the DVD at Walmart the other day and was thinking about picking it up because it was so cheap, but turns out that one is available in that complete collection, which I would like to get at some point, so I held off, but this one looks really cool. So yeah, happy to find this one. I love Scooby, always have, so hopefully this will be a lot of fun. Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold. This next one has got to be just terrible, but I don't know, I had to grab it. This is Avengers of Justice Farce Wars. So of course this is going to be a satire from, a superhero movie. But I was looking at this and I immediately recognized Amy Smart on there, which is awesome. But then I'm reading the credits at the top and I see Shawn Michaels and I'm thinking, what? And then I realized right there, That is the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels, which just blows my mind. So I don't know how I didn't notice that until literally right now, but now I have to see this one. I am super intrigued to see how HBK does in this. Shawn Michaels, of course, is a professional wrestler. He's really a household name, so I'm sure you know who he is, but in case not, that's who I'm referring to there. But yeah, so this looks so stupid and dumb. I had to grab it. Hopefully it'll be at least a little bit funny. So I don't know. It has HBK in it. That's good enough. So Avengers of Justice. Yeah, Farce Wars. I was looking at it backwards and I thought I was messing it up. But no, it is Avengers of Justice Farce Wars. So yeah, we'll see if this one is as bad as it looks or not. This next one I know was not in the new wave because I've seen this in the past, but I realized now that this is actually a TV series. So the runtime on this is approximately 180 minutes, so it's a multi-episodes, which is cool. But this is Deadliest Critters Wild Thing, and the star of this is the guy from Lost, which I love. It's Charlie from Lost. His name is Dominic Monaghan, and so I was intrigued by that fact alone because I love Charlie. Who doesn't? He's fantastic. And so I figured I would give this one a shot. I tend to love like nature documentaries like this, so hopefully this will be a good one. So Deadliest Creatures Wild Things with Dominic Monaghan should be pretty cool. This next one is one that I've always heard really good things about, but I've never seen it. I've never owned it before, so I figured, yeah, you better pick it up. This is Matchstick Men, and it has Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell in it, so you know it's going to be at least decent because they are fantastic. But yeah, this is, shout out to Miranda from Miranda's Movies and Grub. This is a snapper case, so you have to love that. This is actually like the 2003 release of this, so how this ended up at the Dollar Tree, I have no idea, but yeah, so this one looks pretty good. I believe that this is like their con artists, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's what they are. Obviously, they have a family. This girl in the middle here, who I'm assuming is Allison Lohman. I'm sure she plays a part in this. I don't know what, but I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, it looks like a pretty good movie, and I've always heard great things. So Matchstick Men from 2003 with that awesome snapper case. Can't beat that. This next one looks very interesting, right up my alley. This is called American Woman from 2019, I believe. And it does have this silly certified fresh, and it's not a sticker. It's like on the cover art, which I really dislike, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. But basically this is about a mother whose teenage daughter disappears. She is then forced to raise her grandson on her own, while she's trying to fight for the answers and figure out what happened to her daughter. So, this sounds very much right up my alley. You guys know I'm a big true crime junkie. This seems to fit that bill. It feels very similar to other stories I've heard that are, true. So I'm thinking this one will be pretty good. And it does have Aaron Paul in it, which is awesome. Christina Hendricks is in this as well. So hopefully this one will be as good as it sounds. Looks really interesting and something that is kind of, made for me, something I will likely enjoy. So American Woman from 2019. You guys know I love throwing some of that low budget schlock into my Dollar Tree cart when I'm shopping, and this would fit that bill. This is actually a 4-film collection, and it's disaster movies, which, again, I just love disaster movies. So we have 4 movies here. We have 10,000 Days, and then Metal Tornado, 10.0 Earthquake, and Seattle Superstorm. So I know at least 2 of these 4 were made for like sci-fi or made for TV disaster films, because they have a TV rating on them. And then one of them is not rated. The other is rated PG. So I don't know exactly what they were, where they were first shown. But I've actually seen, if not all of it, I've seen some of Seattle Superstorm. It wasn't very good, but that's okay. I don't know. These movies always intrigue me because they're about topics I love watching and reading about. They are post-apocalyptic or they're disaster films. So they're, potentially bringing on the apocalypse, whatever the case is. Like 10,000 Days. After a comet strikes the Earth with the force of multiple nuclear weapons, 2 surviving clans of humans fight for the few remaining resources on Earth as it plunges into an ice age. Like, that sounds awesome. So I'm very intrigued by that story. And then the other ones are just kind of crazy storms that happen. You have an earthquake movie, a tornado movie, and then just a superstorm. So I don't know. These are probably not good, but I can appreciate them if they are done in kind of that asylum style where they know they're not the best, but they're doing their damnedest to make a decent flick. And I'm hoping that's the case here. So the 4-film collection disaster films, 10,000 Days, Metal Tornado, Seattle Superstorm, and 10.0 Earthquake. Another shout out to Miranda. She watched this movie and I didn't heed her warning because I think she didn't like it, if I am remembering right. But this is called Curse of the Mayans. And this was from like 2016, it looks like. But it just sounds intriguing in that cover. That's worth the $1 alone. So it's so hard to kind of explain what this is because the summary on the back is so long. But basically, this person unlocks what he thinks is the answer to like a Mayan culture, an undiscovered Mayan culture. So they are trying to do things to figure out what happened when bad things begin to happen to like all the explorers. That was a terrible way to explain it, but that's what I got from the description on the back. But yeah, I don't know. Just like look at that cover again. Tell me that's not worth $1. That looks awesome. So I know that, at least I think, because I asked her a lot about the movie she watched, and I believe this is the one that she said was just really boring, but I'm sure she's right. I'm sure it will be, but I had to grab it when I saw it. So Curse of the Mayans, and I believe this one was from 2016. So if you guys have seen this one, let me know. So there's 6 DVDs left to go through, and all of these would fall into the horror genre. The first one here is called Delivery, The Beast Within. So this looks like something like Rosemary's Baby or something along those lines. Grace as well. So I don't know. This just looks cool. It has a very good cover, which is always good. The pull quote from Ain't It Cool is so intense, so frightening, and so real. And that's from Ain't It Cool News. So, I mean, hopefully it'll be pretty decent. One of the scariest films of the year from Celluloid Screams Horror Film Festival. Slick, clever, and very disturbing from Scream the Horror. Like, there's a lot of good pull quotes on here. Hopefully they're not lying. But yeah, so this one, a young couple agrees to document their first pregnancy for a popular reality show. And then things start going the haunted route from there. So hopefully this one will be as good as the pull quotes are making it out to be. So Delivery, The Beast Within is the first true like horror film I grabbed. This looks as generic as humanly possible, but it actually sounds really cool. This is Dark Light. Here it says Fear the Light. So this is an alien invasion film, or I guess an alien abduction film is what I should say. At least that's what I'm gathering here. I have They're Watching Us at the top there. These mom and daughter go through a divorce, or the mom goes through a divorce. They move out, so things are already bad, and then the daughter goes missing, and the mom, I guess, believes it's an alien abduction. So this sounds really cool, even though it looks a little generic and has a super generic title. I still think this one has the chance to be pretty interesting. So Dark Light, an alien abduction film, which I tend to really enjoy. This is another one that has a ton of potential to be actually a legitimately good movie. This is called The Evil in Us. And again, the pull quotes here were getting me. This is a rabid cross of Cabin Fever and 28 Days Later. And then on the back, it says Cabin Fever meets Evil Dead. So those are things I love. Of course, I'm interested in this. And you can see it looks super bloody, super gory, which I'm into. So yeah, hopefully this one will be pretty good. I guess this is like a zombie movie of sorts. This group of 6 go to this island where they are slowly transformed into these zombie-like creatures. So this sounds awesome. I definitely am going to prioritize this one. The Evil in Us, as the back says, a zombie outbreak movie for the Walking Dead generation. Whatever that means. This next one is actually like the only movie I've seen out of everything I've shown you so far. And this one holds a special place in my heart simply because of the fact that it's one of the first films that was done in Detroit when the tax break started happening for filmmakers. And so a lot of movies were coming to Detroit because it was cheaper. And then of course we got a new governor and they took it away for whatever reason. And so now the movies are gone again. But this was one that just stands out to me as I'm sure it wasn't the first, of course, but it was just one of the first from that film incentive program they were running. So I saw this around the time it was released on DVD. I didn't love it. It's not the best. It's frankly a mediocre movie, but it has a good cast. Hayden Christensen is in it. John Leguizamo is in it. This is called Vanishing on 7th Street. So this takes place in Detroit, and you can see on the back here, like, this is a highway I drive down often. So that is what kind of drew me to this, is just the fact that it was in Detroit, set in Detroit, filmed in Detroit. So this is basically something happens and everybody who is in darkness is kind of disappears. They're sucked away somewhere. And so you have to stay in the light in order to survive. kind of like Lights Out, but nothing like Lights Out. Like Lights Out is an infinitely better film. It's done on a much more intimate level, and it's just better overall. But it's the same idea where you need to stay in the light. And so, like I said, it's mediocre, but it's good enough to have in my collection because of the kind of nostalgia I have for it, even though it's only from like 2010. It is what it is. So Vanishing on 7th Street is like the only one I think I've seen out of this entire haul, which is saying something. This next one is probably my biggest disappointment from the month of April, just the fact that I wasn't able to get my hands on it. But lo and behold, I went back in today and I was able to find The Cleaning Lady. So this movie, I don't know what it is about it, but this cover is just unsettling to me. I think it looks fantastic. The back is not much better. It just looks creepy. So I was so disappointed I was not able to come across this one, but very happy now that I was able to find it. So basically this is just an obsession movie. The cleaning lady becomes obsessed with the husband, I guess, of the woman that she's working for. So it becomes this kind of love triangle obsession thing, which it looks like it's going to veer more into horror rather than thriller, which I'm all about. So hopefully this one will be as good as the cover makes it look to be. So The Cleaning Lady, one of my favorite finds from this month. Okay, you guys, so this is the last DVD I found, and this is, without a doubt, the best DVD find I have ever had at the Dollar Tree. Not only are these all horror movies, it is a 6-pack of horror movies, and this isn't like the disaster films where they're like these no-name movies. These are ones that I have seen. Some of these I've seen, some of these I've loved, and it's just movies I legitimately want to have in my collection. This is the 6-movie DVD set called Horror Unleashed. So we have the zombie film Train to Busan. We have, I can never say that first word, Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, The Wailing, The House That Never Dies, Reawakening, and Afraid. So Afraid, I've never heard of. The House That Never Dies, I'd never heard of either of those. The House That Never Dies is actually a sequel. Reawakening is the second one in that series. The Wailing, I actually started watching this on Shudder the other day, but it's like a 2-hour-long movie. It was subtitled. I was trying to eat. I was like, I can't do this. It was super interesting for the first like 15 or 20 minutes, so I will definitely be going back to watch that one, and now I own it. Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, of course, is the sequel to Dead Snow. We did a Cinefessions podcast episode on this one, and it's the prequel to it. Love both of them. They are amazing horror comedies. And then Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. This was actually in my Hamilton book cart because I wanted to pick it up, but it was a little too expensive, so I put it back. Thank goodness I did. And then Train to Busan, honestly, the gem of the pack here. Train to Busan is quite legitimately one of the greatest zombie movies I've ever seen. It is fantastic, and I am so happy to own it now. Now, to be fair, I will probably upgrade that to Blu-ray at some point. I do want to get Peninsula as well. That one I'd like to get on 4K. It's just, it has not dropped under $20 yet, so I'm just waiting on him. But yeah, this is like such a ridiculously good deal. Now, I want to open this up because I want you guys to be aware. So you can see inside here that all the discs are stacked like this, which for $1, like, it is what it is. You're getting each movie on its own disc. So you can see here is Train to Busan. Let me get that one off of here. You have the Haunted Asylum and so on and so forth. There are 6 different discs here, and each of them contains one of the movies. So not only are you getting the movies, but you're also getting special features with some of these. Like Train to Busan has special features. Dead Snow 2, The Wailing, those all have special features on them. So, I mean, this is ridiculous. $1. Like, that's, how do you get this lucky? There was only one of these at this location. So unfortunately, I don't have an extra one to give to anybody, but yeah, this was just an awesome find. Like I said, probably my greatest Dollar Tree find to date. Have you guys seen this one at your local stores? Let me know. I want to know if this one is common or not. So an awesome 6-film set, a Horror Unleashed pack. Cannot beat this deal, guys. So those are all of the DVDs I grabbed. So now let's move over to the 8 Blu-rays I found. The first Blu-ray I have to talk about has a yellow case, which is the only yellow Blu-ray case I've ever seen before. But this does have a slipcover, which is cool. This is called The Hero of Color City. So obviously this is going to be a family film. This is one I picked up for my daughter. It's going to have a lot of bright colors, so she will probably love this. But it sounds like super goofy, almost like a Toy Story, but with crayons, because when when Ben falls asleep, all of his crayons go to Color City. I don't know. It just sounds ridiculous. And then 2 unfinished drawings start attacking Color City. And so they're trying to save the city. I don't know. It sounds absurd, but I'm sure my daughter will like this one. So this was really cool. And again, if nothing, the only yellow Blu-ray case I have ever seen. Let me know if you guys have seen any others, but this is my first. So The Hero of Color City, a fun looking family film to add to the collection for cheap. If this cover doesn't sell you on this movie, then I don't want to know you. This is amazing. This is called The Yankles, which is just ridiculous, but that's okay. So this is a sports movie, which is why I ended up picking it up. I love sports. I figured this would be pretty decent. Basically, we are following this down and out ex-baseball player who is trying to meet community service hours by becoming a coach, but nobody wants him to coach their team. Enter the Yankles. They will have him on his team, and then they are on their team, and then they're trying to win the championship. It sounds silly and dumb, but that's okay. It's called the Yankles. Like, that's amazing. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see if this one's any good or not eventually. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it. It's the Yankles. This next one, I am literally realizing right now that it is actually a documentary. I thought this was a war movie, which it is, but it's a documentary. So this is Hell and Back Again. And this is basically following a soldier who returns from Afghanistan, and he's dealing with PTSD and trying to connect again with his family. And so it looks really interesting. And now that I know it's a documentary, it will be moved toward the top of the list because I am super intrigued to see what this one is all about. The poll quotes on this one are just spectacular. So I don't know. Hopefully, again, it lives up to that, but we'll see. So Hell and Back Again, a documentary for the collection. Always love that. Here's another one that looks like something I will likely enjoy. This is called American Hangman, and it has Donald Sutherland in it, which is awesome. But basically, this guy here kidnaps a judge, who I guess is Donald Sutherland, and because he believes that this judge is the reason that an innocent man is in prison, and so now he is going to take to the internet. He holds him, hostage or whatever. He's going to go to the internet to figure out if he's innocent or guilty, and then I guess he'll, go from there. But sounds interesting. I love kind of like one location films with this, which this sounds like it might be. So yeah, we'll see. American Hangman, another one that looks pretty darn cool. This is actually an upgrade for me. So I found this 2-pack, this Wesley Snipes double feature on DVD in one of the previous waves, and one of the comments said, hey, that's actually available on Blu-ray. That's how I found it. Lo and behold, they were right. Here it is. This is The Recall and 9 Lives, both starring Wesley Snipes. Now, when I talked about this in the last video, when I talked about the DVDs, I actually got a lot of comments about how both of these movies are actually pretty darn good. So I'm intrigued to check these out, and I'm even happier now that I was able to upgrade to the Blu-ray on these, because obviously that's, my preferred way of watching it. So The Recall and 9 Lives, 2 Wesley Snipes double features, and both of these I think actually have, or no, I guess just one of them. The Recall has a sci-fi twinge to it, I believe. So we'll see. It sounds pretty interesting. This next one is another disaster film, and it looks epic. This is called Tidal Wave from 2009, and I believe this is a Korean film. So this, of course, is about a giant tidal wave kind of taking over the city here. Look at that back. Like, this just looks awesome. I cannot wait to watch this one. My wife loves disaster flicks as well, so hopefully this will be one that we can watch together. And it actually looks like it has a dub on here as well as the sub version as well. So that's always interesting. So excited for this one, guys. Tidal Wave from 2009 looks like an epic disaster film. This is another one that I know was in the previous wave, and I was super jealous that I wasn't able to find it, but this is City Slickers, which is a pretty well-known movie. Billy Crystal, Daniel Stern, like an awesome cast. I always remember this one being on TV when I was younger, and I always would watch parts of it, most of it. I'm sure I actually watched through it at one point, and I just never loved it back then, but I'm talking like I was 8, 9, 10 years old at the time. But I don't know. I need to see this one because it always is just nostalgic for me. And so I want to see if I actually enjoy this or not. So City Slickers, and this one is actually from, oh no, I thought this was Mill Creek, but Mill Creek, I believe, released the sequel to this recently. So yeah, I got to pick that up now. So I have both of them. So City Slickers, I don't know. We'll see. A Billy Crystal starring Western comedy. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. Last but not least is another Blu-ray horror movie that I've seen people finding in previous waves, but I was not able to find it. I know it was available on Hamilton Book because I had it in my cart for a while, but this is called A Dark Song. So this looks really interesting to me. This is about a mother who is grieving the loss of her son. She comes in contact with this recluse man who is supposed to be kind of an expert on the occult, and they are going to kind of use each other to bring back her son from the dead. And then, of course, I'm sure bad things happen as they typically do in these types of films. So yeah, this one looks really kind of creepy and just, I don't know, scary. I don't know, it looks good. So I am very interested in checking out A Dark Song. So that is going to be the last Blu-ray that I was able to find at my local Dollar Tree. All right, so there it is, my first June Dollar Tree haul. So I'm sure once the wave actually hits that I'll be back and I'll be finding more things because it's what I do. But let me know down in the comments below if any of these are new. Have you guys seen any of these in the past, or were some of these new items for potentially the upcoming wave? I'd love to hear you guys, what your thoughts are down below. Also, let me know if there's anything in here that I should prioritize because you guys always give me some awesome recommendations. So thank you for leaving all of those comments. So as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and maybe consider subscribing to the channel here on YouTube. Like I always say, I don't just talk books and movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, graphic novels, manga, collectibles. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.